beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Uwauma here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, it's always a delight to have you back to this channel. My name is Uwauma, and in today's video, as you can tell from the title, I'll be talking about God's design for marriage. God's design for marriage is absolutely good. So we are going to be looking at a few scriptures to see what God is saying about marriage. If this is what you are interested in, then you definitely want to keep on watching and stay connected to this channel. Now, without much ado, let's jump right into the video for today. The death of the popular gospel music minister Osinachi Nwachukwu is no longer news in the media. Why some persons felt that she shouldn't have stayed in a life-threatening relationship for that long. Her husband, according to the news, have been beating her not once, not twice, and the one that hit the camel's back was the one he hit her on the chest, and she was unconscious, and that led to her death. Aside all of this, it doesn't stop God's idea for marriage. God's idea for marriage is good. And the enemy is beginning to use this, to put in fear into the hearts of many, particularly married ones. But all of this, you need to be sensitive. You need to be sensitive. Don't stay in a life-threatening relationship for that long. Step aside, not necessarily getting a divorce, till you can resolve conflict amicably. The Bible says in the book of Genesis 2:24, one of his idea of marriage was for complement, for you to have a commitment for a lifetime, for you to have a partnership with each other. But if there is any conflict along the line, it is important that you seek help. It is important that you cry for help. A lot of persons saying cry for help, cry for help. I know it is not easy, particularly confiding in somebody when you have one or two things going on. You need to be able to trust somebody that you can confide in. So we're going to look at the book of Genesis 2:24 and let us see God's idea for marriage aside all the happenings around. Genesis 2:24, where the Bible says that a man will leave his father and mother and be cleaved unto his wife, and they will become one. Yes, the Bible says that divorce is not good. The Bible, it wasn't even God's idea for there to be divorce. But there are other means of resolving this conflict, which is separation. Is quite important. You can also do separation, because the news was that Osinachi did not want to be divorced because she felt it wasn't God's idea. She felt divorce was not God's idea. Yes, may the soul of Minister Osinachi rest in peace. It's so pathetic, and I'm really pained, deeply pained about her loss, but may her soul rest in peace. Yeah, that takes me back to God's design in marriage. God's design is marriage for a man and a woman to come together, to have a commitment together for a lifetime. But if there are hitches, or if there is a conflict that needs to be resolved, or a life-threatening, situation, it's nice and it's okay for there to be separation. If in a situation no divorce but separation, it's absolutely important that there be separation and the conflict is resolved amicably, or you call for help. It's important. God's design for marriage, I repeat, is good. Marriage was God's idea. Let's not allow the enemy to use what is going around to begin to creep fear into our hearts and make us feel that marriage is bad. Marriage is not bad, but if you have a need to resolve conflict, or if there is a life-threatening situation like domestic violence, and I will crave your indulgence to seek help, be sensitive, seek help, and I pray that the Lord will give you grace and strength, because most times you say seek help, most times you say shout out for help. It's not really easy for somebody that is going through, a lot of trauma to begin to talk to some other person. It takes a lot of courage for you to be able to trust somebody that you can confide in your head out. So God's idea for marriage is good. Do not allow the wicked one, the enemy, he's like a rolling lion looking for who to devour, make you feel that God's plan for marriage wasn't good. God's plans for marriage is good. So, beloved, if you're watching this video, I would like you to give this video a thumbs up, share this video with a loved one, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. And before I go on again, I want to say a very big thank you to my wonderful subscribers on this channel. Thank you, beloved people, for always staying connected to this channel and growing this community. Never forget that you guys are the most valuable persons on this channel as always. I love you all, and please guys stay connected as always. Now, another thing about God's design for marriage is that there is this misconception about marriage that you get into marriage because you want to be completed by your spouse. It is absolutely a no-no for me. You were already complete. You are getting into marriage to complement with your spouse and not to complete it. Your essence of marriage is not for you to be completed. You were already completed. Christ has made you complete in Him. He's the head of all principalities and power if you are a Christian. So you get into marriage to complement your spouse and never get into marriage and lose your identity. As an individual, you have a purpose, you have an identity. Do not get into marriage and lose your identity. It is not God's idea that you get into marriage and lose your identity. Marriage is good, and please get into marriage to complement your spouse, and don't feel that you're getting into marriage because you want your spouse to complete you, that you're not completed. No, don't have that impression. Never. If you're watching this video and you're a single person and you've always had that impression that marriage is, you're getting in marriage just because you want your spouse to complete you. No, just take that off your head right now and know that you are complete in Christ. If you're a Christian, like I said earlier, you are complete in Christ. So you are getting to marriage because you want to complement your spouse. Having known that God's design for marriage is good, it's important that you know that no marriage is perfect. But as a Christian, it is also good for you to ensure that your marriage reflects the heart of Christ. Let your marriage be the doorway for which your spouse and yourself can come together and walk with God closely according to His will and staying connected to God as always. It is so, so important. I hope this video has inspired you or you have learned one or two from this video. If yes, please share this video with a loved one, particularly a married person or a single person. Let them know that God's idea for marriage was good way back, was good from the beginning, and encourage someone out there to please speak up if they are going through a life threatening relationship, sorry, if they are going through a life threatening relationship, because it takes a courageous person to be able to confide to someone there and speak up, so that they can get the support they need. Thank you, beloved people, for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, why? Like, why haven't you subscribed to this channel? Please give this video a thumbs up, share this video with a loved one, and also stay safe and stay blessed till I come your way in my next video. Ciao.